Next one is I started to notice recently that my girlfriend is hugely empathetic, which isn't a problem for me, and I love her more for her ability to do so, but I do see it often drag her down. Anytime that she hears of someone close to her having a problem, she pretty much puts herself in their shoes to the point where it's almost like it's her own problem. Oftentimes as well, she will get upset at jokes that have some kind of content that involves someone else's misfortune, even if it's completely fictional. Now, I don't want to change her in any way, but I want to know if you guys have any insight on it and what you think of it as a trait, and if it's more beneficial or more of a weight. I always try to understand how people's brains work and how I can better empathize with them, but because I am more logical, this kind of frame of mind really baffles me. And I was wondering if there were any tips that could help her if at times it does get overwhelming.
Yeah. So what the first question that I would ask, and the answer could go either way on this, is does she have the same reaction when she hears a joyful story to the same proportion and degree? Because what I find is that sometimes people who call themselves empathetic really are just sad. and they attach to other people's sadness. They attach to the world's sadness. The world is such a sad place, but they're incapable of being like, wow, the world is a safer place than it's ever been in all of human history. And like babies are being born and that just lights up my day. They very rarely have those.
Yeah. Because I think if you were actually sympathetic, everyone's joy would be your joy. Yes. Everyone's sadness would be your sadness.
So that's the first question is this truly a person who is experiencing empathy, which is to say that they're almost an open vessel for emotions without discrimination? Or is it that this is a person who, like is usually the case, has their own sadness that they need to address and then projects it onto the world, says it's coming from outside of me, when really that's just the mirror reflecting to them? Based
on the question, I think it sounds like the latter. So let's answer as if it's the latter.
Sure. Well, I'll try to do both. So if you're an empathetic person, a truly empathetic person, yeah, I don't know. That can get overwhelming because I have heard stories of people that are like, look, I just feel what other people feel. Yep. And this is like a thing in the spiritual community. I've never experienced it, but I'm not the guy to answer that question. Yeah. So to the
you could also just control not control, but in theory, to the extent that were the case, when you got sad because you watched a video about a cat dying, you could just go watch a video about cats dancing and you'd feel just as happy, right? Yeah. So like my suggestion, if she is an empath, is help her have more control over what she consumes. Yep. Because if she's feeling disproportionately sad and dislikes it, then she's probably consuming a disproportionate amount of sad stuff if she's truly empathetic, right? So it's just like help her to find herself watching things that bring her joy.
Yes. Now, if this is a case of sadness, well, I'd like you to go first because I have my own weird emotional mastery style of dig in, but you might have a more practical, quicker solution.
I'm a big believer in don't change filter. So I've never dated anybody that I would describe as constantly sad. You know what I mean? They might be constantly a pain or constantly angry, but I can't think of anybody that I've ever dated that is like that because that particular thing would just be a turnoff to me.
Yeah.
So I don't have any experience with that.
So one exercise, and I mean, I date sad girls.
Yeah, you and I are different. You and I are different.
This is what I do.
You love that.
Yeah. One thing that I will suggest to them is I'll say, okay, close your eyes. You're sad about that puppy, that person, that thing. Their problem is your problem. I want you to take a deep breath and another deep breath. And I want you to ask yourself and just wait. I don't want you to think this answer. I want you to wait for the answer to arise. Is this problem truly coming from outside of me, or is it reflective of something inside? And just see what comes back. And you can phrase that in your own way, right? Is this just about Jenny's dog, or is there something else? You know, you could frame it however. And if the person, they'll take a break, and it's not a thought, it's not an explanation, it's a surging of a feeling. It's an intuition, is what it is. And you go, it's something else. Okay, and you go, okay, you might not like this part. What is it? And you'll get some answer that seems, it's my dad. It's that person who said something. It's my, oh my God, I have this pain in my back. Okay. What's the pain in the back? And what you'll quickly find is that there are root causes, and there might be many of them, but the difference between these and everyone else's problems is that everyone else's problems are endless and can never be solved. Your problems are much stickier, but they are finite. And so as you begin to go through them and unravel them, other people's problems just seem less grabbing to you because what you're addressing is the actual issue.
Well,
and
a
it
lot
can
of
take some
times-
time to go through this. It can take like weeks and months and in occasions years of various different things.
A lot of times, if it is someone whose empathy skews sad, it's that external sadness is actually meant to distract from the internal sadness. So it serves a very, very useful function.
Yep.
So it's not that the external sadness becomes less; it's that they need it less.
Yes. And what you'll find is that that distraction, then what they'll recognize, having gone through this process to a greater degree, is the amount to which other people's problems are their responsibility. And what they'll tend to find is that, like, I'm here, I'm available, but I cannot do it for you. You know what I mean? And the degree to which I try to solve your problem is the degree to which you do not get over this problem. So like, I'm here. I want you to know I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. And when you're ready for assistance in moving through this, I will work you through this process myself. But like, I can't do it for you. And so, yeah, it's a longer process. But I think ultimately that is the one that if someone is constantly finding that the world is triggering them, you've got filter what you see, and then address the internal, like Velcro that hooks onto those things. Those are two broad options. Cool.
Yep.
Hope that you guys enjoyed that clip. If you want to see more like this and have us do more podcasts, we are 100% funded by our generous patrons. And if you'd like to contribute, there's a link in the description, and we'll have one pop up on the screen right here so that we can do more podcasts where we have fun conversations and hopefully some deep ones like this. Either way, hope that you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one.